so much for being here. Another Friday upon us. TGIF. That's what we like to say. Thank God it's Friday. And thank God for you that you're out there now. You can be anywhere, any place, at any time because we're in different time zone. You could be out there at work right now as we speak, and you could be getting ready for lunch or having lunch or getting ready to commute for home for dinner and then maybe even going to bed depending on your time zone. Whatever it is, we're glad that you can join us, and we hope that you can stay for the full hour. But if you can't, uh, whatever time you can spare with us would really be appreciative. Thank you so much. And if you're watching us, no matter where you are around the world, we're right there with you. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram as well. So thank you guys so much for being with us. I see people are starting to come in, and oh, yeah, they're coming into the building right away. There they go, right there. And so thank you so much for being with us. Now, later on in the program, as usual, we have the regular feature that comes up, our 2020 feature, 20 past the hour. Brian Camp will phone in from Charlotte, North Carolina with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here coming from Maine, calling in from Maine, Portland, Maine. And he's going to bring us entertainment news and recite all of those birthdays of all of the people who are celebrating us this week, people of notoriety. That's all coming up. And of course, later on in the program, I have for you those classic movies. I have my picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies, and I'm going to give you those that are coming up and a whole lot more. So all of us together. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you say we get ready to salute ourselves, lift our glasses, all right? Or your cups, or whatever you have in that cup. Salute, Giantane. It's the coffee hour. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? I always say. And it's pretty hot, nice, because it's cold here in New York. I got to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about our weather forecast, which reminds me to tell you that if you're going to come in and you're going to engage in conversation with us, pop in and give us your weather forecast no matter where you are around the world, except for in New York. If you're in New York, I'll take care of that for you because it's just about the same anywhere in New York. But for the rest of you, you come in and give us your weather forecast. Whew, boy, it was cold this morning, and it's still cold. It's still cold, but we get over it. The good news is that here in New York, it's going to stay a little dry. We'll tell you about that in just a few minutes. Right now, I want to remind you guys that the pandemic is still on. I don't think I have to remind you about that. I guess I really don't. We already know about that. But for those of you who are unaware of it, and some may be unaware of it, some people don't care, I want to remind you that there is a protocol that the rest of us follow, and we hope that you would follow too by going to get vaccinated or get tested. If you're feeling bad, stay home, get tested. They have all of these test kits now that they're going to send out to all of us. That's what they say. And they're going to submit, like, I think 2 kits to each family. So just in case you want to do it at home, instead of going out, you can do that. That's all available coming up. And of course, there's places you can go, to get tested, to get vaccinated. Your primary doctor may have a supply of vaccines, which of course, there are 3 on the market already. And what they are. They're the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the J&J, which is Johnson & Johnson. Pfizer and Moderna, they take 2 shots, which will put you fully vaccinated. And 6 months after you take those shots, you're going to want to get boosted. For those of you who are taking the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson, that's a 1-shot deal. And 2 months after that, you should get a booster. And then you'll be on the par of all of us. All of us will be on one accord with that. Some people, again, not refusing to take shots, and a lot of people in the sports world are refusing to take shots. Now, we're not going to criticize you or critique you. We're not going to do anything like that. But we would just like to let you know that however you feel about it, we feel that we should announce it here and make sure that we get the news out to everyone, how important this is. It's important to me. It should be important to you. It should be important to you and your family, your mothers, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers, your husbands and wives, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, and children, all of your children, everybody, should be thought about this. And once you keep that in mind, it may, change your mind. Just in case initially you don't want to get vaccinated, it may change your mind about it. Then again, it may not, depending. But I couldn't for the life of me understand why people wouldn't want to protect their families, especially their children. Now, vaccines on the market too. They're also out there for children. People are taking them. They're trying to get these vaccines that they're predicting in a couple of weeks for kids under 5 years old. So the age is getting lower and lower, so everyone can get vaccinated. Now, for all of you people who have these underlying conditions, you might want to think about that as well. You want to stay away from places that are crowded with people who are not wearing masks. And you might want to stay away from people. And I'm not trying to discourage people from coming into your business, but if you have a business, you're going to want to protect the people that come in. And if you don't, then, let me know, because then I won't come to your business. But nevertheless, there are people who want to protect their customers, and what they do is that they have a mandate where, of course, some of them follow it, where maybe people want to come in and you want to check proof of vaccination. All right. And those proofs are the cards that you get when you get vaccinated. The cards that you get, you want to keep that, because that's your proof right there. And you can take it anywhere you want to go. But if it's a wallet size, which they're not, they should bump them down the wallet size. They're not wallet size, so they're a little too big to fit in your wallet. So you want to kind of keep them in a safe place, maybe laminate them or keep them in a safe place, lock them up in a box or something where no one could get to. And just make sure before you do that, maybe you might want to take a picture of it in your cell phone. This way you'll have the proof right there, and you keep it in your cell phone at all times. So just in case you go into an establishment where they're going to ask you, and some people will, for your proof of vaccination, you have it right there. Just open up your cell phone and it's right there. I go to a place each morning where I have coffee, and I go there and they check for proof. And they have this section, right? This little section for people who are vaccinated. And they have a guy there, it's roped off. And they have the guy there at the beginning of the rope where you enter. He's going to look for it, for your proof. And if you could produce that proof, you can go right in there. And that separates from all of the people who are vaccinated from the people who are non-vaccinated. Isn't that nice? So you want to stay in a safe place. You want to stay in a safe place. And I hate to do it that way. I hate to say, I don't want to be around people who are not going to wear a mask or who don't care, because it's a possibility, you could spread it on to people. Even if you're not feeling bad, you can spread the virus on to people. People are traveling, and you want to make sure that your travel is a safe travel, and people are flying. And of course, nothing is mandated there. But of course, if you're going to fly, they're going to ask you to wear your mask. And please, by all means, because you don't know who you're sitting next to. You don't. At this particular point, I have no way I want to fly anyway just yet. But I miss the days of flying around from different cities, different countries, and things like that, and just being around. We all miss those things. We all miss those things. And we, right now at this point, can't relax like we really want to. Some people are, because they're just not thinking about it, and they're just flying off and just doing this, going maskless, disrespecting the people, space, who want to be in an environment where, they don't want to contact or contract the disease. So please, if you don't want to wear a mask, if you don't want to get vaccinated, at least have the respect for others. Respect other people's space. That's what I ask. It's 10 minutes past the hour, and just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're here every Friday, just in case you're just joining us every Friday. And if you're here every Friday, you already know the protocol. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, come on in. We invite you to do so and come back again and again. We invite you to do that. Now, we have a protocol too. For those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you can tag your friends right now. We urge you to do that. Tag your friends right now so they can get in on the action here, watch the show, just like the rest of you. And who knows, maybe they'll be regulars just like you. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're on the channel right now. Subscribe to us. And this way you'll never miss a show, because each time we go on the air live or we post a video, you will always get notified for that, and then you'll never miss a show. And for the same thing for all of you people who are watching us on Instagram, please, follow us at all times. And speaking of Instagram, I see more people who are there, and I just want to say hi to you guys. Thank you so much for being along with us. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, while I shoot up. Oh, we're here. We're here. We are here. Well, speaking of the variant, we have this Omicron. That's what we have right now. And we have places that you can go to get tested or to get vaccinated. And of course, there's local places where you are, that it all takes a matter of Googling. Just Google, and you'll see that'll be fine. You can find out anywhere, right? Now, I have a number which is called the COVID-19 test number. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, see where my picture is? Right underneath there, there's a lot of information there, and you'll see right there it says COVID-19 test, and it has a telephone number. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, it's right in the chat area. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, I'm going to give it to you orally because it's not posted there. It's not visual there. So here we go. It's the COVID-19 test number. You can speak to someone that will give you information if you have any questions about what's happening with the COVID-19 or places you can go to get tested or vaccinated. The number is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. Get that number. Now, for those of you who are Moderna people, you're looking for the Moderna shots. Now, I have information for people for Moderna shots. I wish this was true for everyone. But this is only for New Yorkers, because this is the information I have. New Yorkers, Moderna boosters and COVID-19 PCR testing is available now at the following stations. There's a Times Square station at 42nd Street Passageway between the Lexington Avenue line and the Lexington and Grand Central Shuttle. And that's Monday through Sunday between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. And the Grand Central Terminal Station level at 89th Street, that's East 89th Street, that's 89 East 42nd Street, I should say. That's Monday through Sunday between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. and no appointments are necessary. So, if you go to those stations, you could look for it. And if you need to check for updates, please, because they may change, go to this website. It's new.mta.info/vax. That's new, N-E-W, new.mta.info/vax. And of course, you can get that information. Now, all of the information I just gave you, of course, if you're going to watch the show will come on a rerun, and then it's always posted up there. All the information I give to you, it's always posted up there. So please keep that in mind. Now, in your area, wherever you may be, if you have an area that you would like to relay to us, because I gave you information from New York, but I like to give, if I could, places all around the world, and I'm going to depend on you to do that for us. If you're in an area out of another city or another country or something like that, give us that information and we'll pass it along to you. You could type it in right now, or you can go to my email address and give us that information. Which is okay, that's up there too. The email address and telephone number, that's up there too. You could use that information as well. And all you have to do is email us. And here's the email address: frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Frank Allan. Allan is spelled Allan. And prod is PROD. That stands for production. So that's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or you can call us and leave a message and leave all of that information at this number: 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And information is right there. And just in case you just missed what I just said, and I did that for the benefit of the people who are watching us on Instagram, but just in case for the rest of you, all you have to do for Facebook watchers, look under my photo up there. You see where my photo is? It's right under there. All that information is right there I just gave you. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, it's in the chat area. So there you go. You have all of that information. It's 16 minutes past the hour right now. Of course, again, it's the coffee hour. Thank you so much for being along with us. Brian Kemp will be here in another 4 minutes from now by way of telephone from Charlotte, North Carolina, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Heard in the news musically, here's music information. And it's sad to say that earlier this week, we lost a link in the chain. We have a link in the chain. All right. Freddie Paris of the Five Satins, of that doo-wop group. The Five Satins passed away this week. You remember this Five Satins, their big hit back there in the 50s when they did In the Still of the Night. So Fred Paris was the one of the major roles in that group. Fred Paris passed away. Also, in today's, and you heard about it, it's all over the news right now as we speak. Michael Lee Aday, but you know him as Meatloaf. He passed away last night. Meatloaf was from Dallas, Texas. He passed away last night at the age of 74. There was no cause of death issue at this particular moment. Maybe later on during the day, and maybe it will happen during the course of the show. And if it does, we will inform you. Yet, but he passed away last night. His wife Deborah and his two daughters were with him last night when he passed away. And I remember Meatloaf when he did that classic album, Bat Out of Hell. Remember that album? I received that album because back then I was a young DJ. I was in my 20s when that album was released. And of course, Meatloaf was in his 20s as well. But when that album was released, I got it because when I was a DJ, as a disc jockey, you get perks. And so record companies issue records. And I have the original promotional copy of that album, Bat Out of Hell, with Meatloaf. And of course, he lasted right throughout the years up until now. He was also an actor. You already know that, right? He was also an actor and music, acting. And I never met him personally. I played his records on the air a lot, but I never really met him personally. But I understand he was a real great guy to talk to get along with. And so we want to send all of our blessings and all of our condolences out to Freddie Paris and Meatloaf, their families, friends, all of their fans, the people that he worked with or they worked with. All of our blessings and condolences. So we're sorry to hear about that. It's now 19 minutes past the hour right here on the Coffee Hour with yours truly, Frank Allan. And let's see, we've got so many things going on today. We're going to talk more about that. I see a lot of you are idle right there. And you just want to make sure that you're watching the show. And if you're watching the show from work, you may have that coffee break. Back in the old days, I don't know if they still do this because I'm not in the corporate life like I was many years ago. But in the corporate life, you get that 15-minute coffee break. And what you want to do with that coffee break, spend it at the time at your desk. Take that 15 minutes at your desk while you're watching the show and having coffee. And then when the coffee break is over, you go back to work. You're still at your desk and you're still watching the show. Good morning, DJ Pete. DJ Pete is checking in. I see him popped up, and I see him popped up right there on Instagram and Facebook. and yes, let me see. Did he do it there? He's right there. He popped up on YouTube, so he's greeting everyone from wherever they are in YouTube world and Facebook world, and of course Instagram and all over the place. So thank you guys for being along with us. We're going to take time now and we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina, where Brian Camp is right there on the telephone, and here he is with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We've got a lot. Brian, you know something? I didn't do my weather yet, but I'm gonna do that. But I can tell you right now, we've got about 14 degrees as we speak.
14 degrees. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, you know what? We got 32 degrees. And the high is going up to 36.
Well, that's a
cold.
That's a
cold front.
Oh, we just moved up a notch. We got 15 now. Big deal.
Okay, it's getting warmer. Okay, it's getting warmer in New York. But it's only going up to 36 degrees here in the Queen City. But the Queen City is not acting like a queen today. You know?
It's acting like a
Yeah. I don't want to say it out there, but she's not acting like a queen. Put it like that. Okay, but we expect 50% of snow today. It's cloudy. As I look out the window, it's cloudy, and it has that snow type of atmosphere where it's very cloudy, but it's going to be interesting. We had snow earlier this week, and we survived it. We had ice. So down here, it's nothing like in New York where if there's a threat of snow, they shut everything down because everybody's racing to the hardware stores at Home Depot and Lowe's to get that ice and sand. But see what happens. So, but good morning to you, to everybody out there in Facebook land and YouTube and Instagram. Hope everybody is doing as well and being safe most of all. So, but let me get to the sports. Tennis news. We've been following the story for a week, maybe a little bit longer, but this is the same character, the same tennis player. He's a great tennis player, but he doesn't follow by rules. Novak Djokovic had a final bid to avoid deportation and play in the Australian Open, which they are playing it right now as we speak. Despite being unvaccinated against COVID-19, ended Sunday when a court unanimously dismissed the number one ranked tennis player in the world. He was challenged of a government minister's decision to cancel his visa. Yeah, so he's not participating in the tournament. The tournament started Sunday. He is 34 years old, won a record 9 Australian Open titles. Now in tennis, they got the Grand Slam like they do in horse racing and in golf. And the Australian Open is always one that starts off the new year, which starts now. Then the second one is in Paris for the French Open, and the third one is usually around the 4th of July is Wimbledon, which is in England, and the last one is in the Flushing Meadows Park in New York, in Queens, which is the U.S. Open. That's usually a busy time of the year around Labor Day, where you have the Mets playing right there. The World's Fair used to be there. Everything, planes, everything is in that area. But he is not going to be playing. He thought he would get a chance for a 10th this year, but it will not happen. Djokovic was initially canceled on January 6th by a border official who decided Djokovic didn't qualify for a medical exemption from Australia's rules for unvaccinated visitors. So he did apply to put in for exemption, but he did not get it. He was exempt from the tournament's vaccine rules because he has been infected with the virus within the previous 6 months. And the second time, there's been more than one time he's been affected from this virus. Now, the committee took aim at Djokovic's anti-vaccination stance and his history of ignoring COVID-19 safety measures. Now, last month, for example, Djokovic was given a French newspaper journalist an interview while he was infected with COVID-19 and took off his mask during a photo shoot. Here's a man that doesn't follow suit. He feels that he's above the law, and this is why he's been deported out of here. So, Major League Baseball, 5-time World Series champion Cy Young winner David Cone is joining the announcing booth for ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, which will also feature a secondary broadcast led by A-Rod, known as Alex Rodriguez. Cone will serve as an analyst alongside Carl Ravitch, who will become the fourth ever play-by-play announcer for Sunday Night Baseball. For 8 games on ESPN2, A-Rod will join veteran commentator, your favorite, Michael Kay, who is the announcer for the New York Yankees, for Sunday Night Baseball. The New York Mets will retire number 17 jersey of former first baseman Keith Hernandez, who becomes the 4th player in franchise history to receive the honor. The ceremony is scheduled to take place Saturday, July 9th. That's my birthday. Hernandez who has been with the franchise for almost 3 decades as a player and broadcaster. And history was made. Rachel Bolkovic became the first woman, hired by a manager to manage a minor league affiliate of a Major League Baseball team when she was promoted by the New York Yankees to dugout boss of the low-A Tampa Tar Pond. Okay? Now, let me try to get this here. I don't want to offend any women. Is that what you think it is? But it's called Tar Pond. It's the low-A, which is A, AA affiliate, or AAA, but this is the lowest professional level that you could go is the A, Tampa Tar Pond. That's spelled TARPONS. I don't want to get in trouble with the FCC, so hear my words for the last time. It's the Tampa Tar Pond. Okay, got that out the way. Hopefully, I won't get in trouble, or the show will get in trouble.
Well, you won't get in trouble with the FCC. Not for that.
Oh. Well, I have the Howard Stern attitude. I could care less.
And besides, we're not under the scope of
giving the sport.
We're not under the scope of the FCC anyway. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if Facebook gets a hold of it, or anybody else, Instagram, trying to make it clear to them.
Yeah.
We don't want to get suspended again, So, in hockey on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, Willie O'Ree, the first African-American player to appear in the National Hockey League, finally had his number 22 retired by the Boston Bruins on Tuesday night. The honor came 64 years ago. O'Ree broke the color barrier on January 18th. January 18th just passed, too, which marks 64 years, in the game between the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. He would play 45 games in the National Hockey League from 1957 to 58, and then again in 1960 to 61. And now he didn't play a lot of games, but the love for hockey, back then it was a little difficult for African Americans or men of color to play in these sports, but he broke through. Now he delivered his keynote remarks virtually from his family home in San Diego due to COVID-19 restrictions. Then the next day, the House of Representatives passes a bill to award the Congressional Gold Medal Act, passed a 426-0 vote to Willie O'Ree. Willie O'Ree was known as the Jackie Robinson of hockey. So congratulations to him, and I wish him the best. He's still active. He still loves the game of hockey. Well, this weekend is football, 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. We're in the playoffs. The doubleheader starts Saturday, January 22nd, which is tomorrow. First game, Cincinnati Bengals will be at Tennessee, play against the Tennessee Titans. That game is at 4:30 on CBS. Then the second game would be the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Wisconsin to play the Green Bay Packers. That game will be at 8:15 on Fox. Then on Sunday, the Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3 o'clock on NBC. They don't have to worry about cold weather because both of those teams, one from California and one from Florida, so they'll be warm. And then the last game will be the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium That game is going to be at 6:30 on CBS. So you go from, on Sunday, you go from extreme warm weather to extreme cold weather. So everybody pop your feet up, make your dinner, relax, and enjoy. This day in sports, January 21st, 1930, Boston Bruins become the first team in National Hockey League history to score 100 goals in a season. They did it in the 26th game. That's amazing. 26 games, they had 100 goals. 1954, fourth NBA All-Star game at Madison Square Garden, New York City. East defeats the West 98-93. Bob Cooley named MVP. 1958, the Philadelphia Phillies agreed to televise 78 games into New York City, but it never happened. I don't know why, but it never happened. 1986. Now check this story out. 100 participated in the nude Olympics race in 38-degree temperatures in Indiana. Yes, they were all nude. They were naked, nude, however you want to call it, no clothes on. They did this. Sound like they have in Coney Island in Brooklyn, where they have the Polar Bear Club, where they go into the water in extreme cold weather. But this is what happened. 1990, John McEnroe becomes the first ever player to be expelled from the Australia Open. That's the tournament we just talked about with Nokovic. 1994, NBA Dallas Mavericks suffered 19 straight loss at Reunion Arena, left their home arena. 2010, Los Angeles Lakers forward Kobe Bryant becomes the youngest NBA player to score 25,000 points at the age of 31. And 2019, Li Na of China becomes the first Asian player to be elected to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
I'm glad to see, finally that others could get into these places like the Hall of Fame, other minority groups that years ago couldn't do it, or they wouldn't have them to do it. But I'm glad to see all of this is coming up now, and everybody's getting this. This is America, and everybody should get a shot. Everyone should get a shot.
Everybody should get a shot at the freedom as with the greatest country in the world. Yeah. Everybody deserves. Everybody has ancestors who came over from various parts of the world.
Yeah.
Especially in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
To even go back to even Europeans coming back after the Civil War, just going out west to make a living for themselves. Yeah.
I credit. I mean, it's a totally different career from what I did, but I played a little baseball too. But my career is totally different. But I still owe it to a man like Jackie Robinson, even though it has nothing to do with radio. But he kind of paved the way for a lot of things, So he was like really one of my big heroes, and not to mention Muhammad Ali.
Oh, that's my favorite of all time. Yeah. Not because of what he did in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
It's what he stood for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Jackie Robinson, I had a chance to meet him because I used to play on Jackie Robinson. As a kid, played on they had a Jackie Robinson league, and I played on it. And when it was trophy time, he came to the ceremony. And it was really a pleasure to meet him. One of the legends of all time, the greatest legend of all time. So I had, and I celebrate Jackie Robinson in many ways that I can. I don't have a jersey, a Dodger jersey, but I will get one. I will get a. Oh, yeah. I'm a Yankee fan, but I will get a Dodger jersey with 42 on it. And I do have a cap that I wear occasionally. It says in the front, Ebbets Field. It's a replica of the caps that the peanut people, when they used to come in the stands and sell peanuts to the people, it was a replica, one of those caps. And on the back of the cap is number 42. I have two caps like that. I have one for Jackie Robinson and one for Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax was number 32. So I have two of those caps.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah. And I treasure those. They're classics. I treasure them. And one of these days, I'm not going to wear them anymore. I'm just going to put them up. Just put them up on a shelf as a showcase.
Hang them up.
Yeah.
Hang them up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. That is it.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we'll see you back here next week, right?
Yes, sir. We'll be here next week doing this. We take it one day at a time.
Okay.
So, everybody stay safe. Yeah. Enjoy the weekend.
All right.
Netflix and football for me.
Yeah. Now, before you go, say that word again.
It's the Tampa Tarpons.
Okay. Can you say it fast?
The Tampa Tarpons are going to be playing the New York Yankees Major League affiliate team today at Yankee Stadium, and then they're going to go back again to renew the rematch 2 days later.
Okay, you got through it. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy. Take care.
Take care. Brian Kemp got right through it. All right, those tongue twisters that most announcers and disc jockeys, people in radio and TV fear. When you get to a point, you see a word that doesn't look right, you slow it down. You slow it down, just like Brian did. And then if you're good at it, you do it fast. He was daring to do it fast. So that was great. Because I remember a time when I was working at this radio station a long time ago. And, radio stations, they give what they call the top of the hour legal ID. All right. And I did the top of the hour legal ID live. It wasn't no recorded. I did it live. And the call letters, well, I'm not going to say the letters of the call letters, but I'll say, let's make up some call letters. WONA. WONA. And I went on the air and I said, this is WONA and tech. It's supposed to be WONA in Texas City. But I said it backwards. So kind of figure that out, why I got fired. You're watching the Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being along with us. And speaking of radio and TV and all of that jazz, yesterday was National DJ Day. And so I want to celebrate, and I could still celebrate it. I mean, once a DJ, always a DJ. Even if you switch gears somewhere, go into another industry, you're always going to be, it's like the president of the United States, Joe Biden, when he gets out of office, he's still going to have that label, Mr. President. And even though I'm not a disc jockey anymore, for the rest of my life, I will carry that name, the DJ. Or radio personality, or the disc jockey, But anyway, it's national. Yesterday was National Disc Jockey Day, and if you don't believe me, go on Facebook. You see a lot of the disc jockeys all over the country. They posted, their early pictures of what they did. I even posted one this morning on mine, even though yesterday was the day. But I posted one this morning, an old picture of me when I was a young buck, just ready to go out there and tackle the world in radio, right? And I was a crazy guy back then. I was a crazy guy. My mom warned me about radio. She warned me. She said to me, she says, get a real job. She says, because in radio, you run into people, you'll get there's nothing but drinking and fast women. Well, I didn't even tell you that hurried my career in radio right away. I'll talk to DJ Pete about that, see what he thinks when he comes on. Anyway, happy National DJ Day to each and one of my colleagues out there in radio land. All of you guys, thank you. And I got to tell you, it's always been a pleasure working, and I still love it. I still miss it. And the whole thing, they always say never. And I say, well, I'm not going to go back to it. At this particular point, I say no. But I'm not going to say never because you never know. That itch may come up again. You never know. But at this particular point, I'm happy in my skin right now. And speaking of DJs, DJ Pete is on the line. And happy National DJ Day to you. That was yesterday.
And happy National DJ Day to you too, Frank.
Boy, what is it? That was
that's a long. We got to come up with a shorter version of that, but
yeah,
National
absolutely.
DJ Day is good enough.
Absolutely.
How are you today? How's Brian? How's everyone today watching
we're
the show? I got a lot of names this week.
Okay.
And I don't know if Brian mentioned it, but Dizzy Dean, baseball player, was born this week, January 16th, 1910.
Okay.
He played for the St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, the St. Louis Browns.
Yeah.
That just popped up on my screen here.
Okay.
For music, I got a lot of music and actors this week. Wesley Irwin Mac Curtis, born January 16th, 1939. He was a rockabilly musician in the U.S., born in Fort Worth, Texas. One of his hit albums, Sunshine Man, was on the number 35 on the country albums chart list. Continuing, Milt Trenier, who's one of the Treniers brothers, born this week. Let me find the date here. Hang on.
That was Treniers with Sammy Davis, right?
The Treniers rock and roll band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of people call them a jump blues R&B band, but their sound was more 50s rock and roll to me. Okay, January 19th, 1930, Milt Trenier, one of the Trenier brothers in the band, the Treniers, which had a lot of great tunes. It rocks, it rolls, it swings, is one of them. Madoon is another great tune of theirs. They have dozens of great music. They were in the movie Rock Around the Clock with Bill Haley's Comets. And they were based out of, I believe, New Jersey, I think, if I remember right. Anyway, continuing on, Phil Everly of the Everly Brothers was born this week, January 19th, 1939. Wake Up Little Susie's one of their great tunes of the Everly Brothers. Dolly Parton, born same day, 1946, American singer-songwriter, actress, author, and businesswoman. A lot of great stuff in country music. Her debut album, Hello, I'm Dolly, 1967.
Hello, I'm Dolly.
Yeah. January 20th. He's the oldest actor and singer in show business for this week. Born January 20th, 1896. Nathan Birnbaum, also known as George Burns, American comedian, actor, singer, writer. One of the few entertainers whose careers spanned from vaudeville, which was live theatrical comedy shows, into radio, film, and television. He passed away a couple months after his 100th birthday.
Right.
And he smoked a cigar most of his life, too. I'm not saying you should take up smoking, but it's one of the small, few rare cases of someone who smoked most of his life.
Yeah.
And lived to the age of 100.
Yeah.
Let's see, born January 21st, 1924, Alfred Hawthorne Hill, also known as Benny Hill. English actor, comedian, singer, and writer, most well known for his TV show in the UK called The Benny Hill Show. And he was a big fan of vaudeville acting and was very much influenced by the vaudeville scene. Born, January 21st, 1922, Aristoteles Savalas, also known as Telly Savalas, American actor, singer, born in Garden City, New York, in Long Island. And I actually got to meet Telly. My grandparents from Long Island, New York, knew his parents. They went to the same church, St. Paul's Church in Hempstead, Long Island. There,
it's his 100th birthday. Yeah. And Benny Hill would have been 98.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. January 21st, 1942, Morris Mac Davis, American country singer, songwriter, and actor. He wrote a few songs for Elvis, including, and some of the tunes are Memories, In the Ghetto, Don't Cry Daddy, and I think a few others here.
80 years old.
Yes, Mac Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Born this week, today, January 21st, 1938, Robert Weston Smith, also known as Wolfman Jack. Famous gravelly voice, it says here. Born in Brooklyn.
That's right. Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yes.
And he's 84. He would have been 84.
He would have been 84.
Yeah.
He was a big fan of Allan Freed, and sort of got his name, Wolfman, from Allan Freed's howling, as he would call himself, the Moon Dog.
That's right. That's right.
And he also was a fan of, I guess, horror films too. So that's where the Wolfman title came in. Wolfman Jack. Who else do we have here? Born January 22nd, 1931. Sam Cooke, American singer, songwriter, entrepreneur. One of the most influential soul artists. Some of his tunes, You Send Me, Cupid, Wonderful World, Chain Gang, Twisting the Night Away. I love that tune. Sam Cooke. Let's see. What else do we have? Hold on. Let me pull up one more thing here.
Dead air.
Yeah, and of course, we were talking about yesterday, January 20th.
Yeah.
National DJ Day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I guess, somehow came up with. I'm not sure how they came up with the name. I'm trying to search it here.
Yeah.
But to recognize all the disc jockeys out there.
Yep.
The ones who work in clubs, dances, private parties.
Yep.
And the broadcast DJs too.
That's right.
Which I am one. I actually do all of those.
Yep.
And you were a broadcast disc jockey. Did you ever do any private events at all?
No. I thought about it one time when I was younger, but I said, nah, I think I'll stick to staying behind the console at a radio station.
Yeah. I got some information here on National Disc Jockey Day. The first disc jockey was an experiment on the airwaves. 1909, 16-year-old Ray Newby was a student.
Newby?
Yeah, Newby.
Wow, that's
Ray
ironic.
Newby, student under supervision of Charles Herald at the Herald College of Engineering and Wireless. He played the first records over the airwaves before the word disc jockey even existed.
Wow.
Then what started as an experiment at Garden City Bank building, not Long Island, but San Fernando, California. Anyway, that's some little information on that. Their National Disc Jockey Day. What else do we have here? No, that's about it. There's a website. You look up National DJ Day online, and or ask your local disc jockey like Frank or myself.
Yeah.
And that's about it, Frank.
Well, here's some information too. Do you know, you and I and all of the DJs? I'm talking radio DJs. I'm not talking about the club guys.
Yeah.
Radio DJs. You, I, and everyone that's ever been on the air. When we're dead and gone, long gone, we're going to still be here. Do you realize that?
I know. We still will be.
We'll still be here because our voices are out there, still out there for years and years. We're going to still be here. And there was a story where I heard, I don't know how true the story was, the old bed mattresses years ago, they're new now. They're no longer springs.
Yeah.
And they said that you could hear the vibrations from another radio station someplace through the spring. You could hear it far away.
Yeah. Radio waves will travel a distance.
Yeah.
But they say, our voices are out there
forever.
In the universe, just traveling along.
Forever. Everything that we ever said is out there forever. So who knows? Maybe it'll come back to you. in the meantime, it's better.
It will. I put my radio show information in the comment group on all on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for people to tune in and listen to my radio shows. And that's all I got for this week, Frank.
Okay, then you will meet you back here next week then.
Definitely will.
Okay. Have a great one. Great weekend.
And shout out to you, Brian, Naoto, everybody else out there. Have a good day, good week. See you next week.
Grazie. Okay, that was DJ Pete, of course, along with us each week, as he always, come to give us his information, entertainment, love talking entertainment, and that's his part of the 2020 feature. Now, I have birthdays this week. He gave some birthdays, and I have some of my own right now. Baby Spice Emma Bunton is 46 today. I love Baby Spice. I don't say anything to anyone, but she's my favorite Spice Girl. Right. Actress Charlotte Ross of the soap operas Days of Our Lives. She played the character Eve on Days of Our Lives. She's 54 today. Actress Gina Davis, who played in that movie that everybody knows. There's no crying in baseball, right? Everybody knows that movie. The League of Their Own, right? She's 66 today. Also turned 66, Robbie Benton. Actor Robbie Benton is 66. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holden is 71 today. Singer Billy Ocean is 72. Actress Jill Eckenberry is 75. Actor Martin Shaw is 77. The late Edwin Starr from Motown, he would have been 80 years old today. The late Richie Havens would have been 81. Steve Reeves, and let me tell you who he was. He played the original Hercules back in the 50s. And he was an actor back in the 50s. He would have been 96. Paul Scofield would have been 100 years old. Actor Paul Scofield would have been 100 years old today. Paul Scofield, I'll take you back. There's a movie that Robert Redford directed called, I think it was called Quiz Show. He was in that. So he would have been 100 years ago. And finally, the fashion designer Christian Dior would have been 117 years old today. So those are all of the birthdays that I have for all of you celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday. And thank you guys. And all of you guys, DJs all around the world, thank you for all of that. Okay, so happy birthday to each and every one of you guys. Okay, now I want to talk to you. I want to first of all tell you that DJ, even though he posted, you'll see it right there, but DJ Pete, he has a show on the radio, and you can check him out on www.radio-airwave.co.uk, and that's on Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can also catch him on WMPG Radio. That's his hometown station in Portland, Maine. You can catch him there, but if you can't catch him on the radio, you can go to the website, www.wmpg.org, and you can catch them there every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. And all times are Eastern in the United States and, of course, Canada, too. So there you have it all right there for you. I guess I gave all that information away. That's good. I didn't get a chance to do my weather forecast. Those of you who are not in New York and you want to chime in on conversation here, please, even while I do this, give me your weather forecast, because right now, my weather forecast for the whole weekend, here we go. Right now, it's partly cloudy for this Friday, partly cloudy. We'll have high 24 degrees. Winds will be north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy early tonight, and then we'll have some clearing expected for late tonight. That's around the midnight hour, and the temperatures will be 14 degrees. and winds will be north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday, tomorrow, sunny skies along with a few afternoon clouds. We'll have a high near 30 degrees. Winds will be north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, a few clouds will be on hand. We'll have low 22 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, considerable cloudiness. We'll have a high 34 degrees. Winds will be at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And I got to tell you, it's cold right now here in New York City. We've got 15 degrees as we speak. 15 degrees here in New York City. Now, those of you who have weather forecasts, please. Now, DJ Pete gave us a weather forecast, and we'll tell you about what's happening in Portland, Maine. Because he gave us this weather forecast earlier, but we didn't get a chance to do it. But since we're on the weather kick right now, Portland, Maine weather forecast. So currently it's temperatures 3 degrees. 3 degrees. The name of a singing group. 3 degrees. Lovely 3 degrees out there in Portland, Maine. And they're going to have a high today around 13 degrees. It's going to be sunny and winds out of the north at 9 miles per hour. So there we go. So we've got all of the weather forecasts, and those of you who are in with us, please give us your weather forecast, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, you know those movies I tell you about each week, right? Those classic movies, and I have a few for you right now, and I just want to relay them to you. Now, these are my picks for the week. For the week. I say for the week, but actually for the weekend, because your weekend comes in and you want to know where all the movies are, right? Here's one that goes back to 1969, that those of you who are baby boomers that came out of that era, you're product of the 60s. Here's a memory for you. Easy Rider, starring Henry Fonda and Dennis Hopper. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Easy Rider. Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. So sit back, relax, enjoy that. That's 10 p.m. tonight. You also have The Philadelphia Story back in 1940 with James Stewart, Katharine Hepburn, and Cary Grant. And that comes on Sunday. You can catch that Sunday afternoon at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. Those are the two movies that I have. Those are my picks of the week. Now, The Philadelphia Story wasn't an original. That was an original. High Society with Frank Sinatra and Louis Armstrong and Bing Crosby and all of those guys in that movie, that was a remake of The Philadelphia Story. And you know how I feel about remakes. I don't like them. But I love both of these movies equally. The 1940 Philadelphia Story and High Society. I love those movies. So they're very rare that I like remakes. Very rare. But these are the movies. So again, if you are in tune with Turner Classics, go to Turner Classics, right, and check out, because there may be more movies that you didn't see, that you would like to see, that you'd like to enjoy. It's right there. And also you can go on Movie on Demand with a lot of movies, a chock full of great movies that you can watch as well. And you can catch that, go down the line, you see all the movies. And if you're a sports buff, there are a lot of networks that carry sports. If you missed your favorite sporting event, you can possibly catch it on demand, and you can do that. So let me tell you about these movies again. Easy Rider, Henry Fonda and Dennis Hopper. That's tonight at 10 p.m. and The Philadelphia Story that comes on at 3:45 p.m. on Sunday. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for being with us for this Friday. The name of the show is called Coffee Hour. We'll be back here next week with more fun and excitement, and Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete will be along with you as well with his take on entertainment and giving you all of the great information and birthdays of the week. And other than that, I will be back on next Thursday for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with sports. You and me will have a whole great conversation, of great gathering together as we do each week. And so you can check me out there. And in the meantime, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Keep calm. Have a great weekend. And I will see every one of you back here next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.